6 weeks left. 38 games. Perfect time to play your rivals with your ace on the mound. Madison Bumgarner is a big game pitcher who's performed so well on baseball's biggest stage. The Giants will need the best of Bumgarner tonight as they're a game back of the Dodgers in the NL West. It's game 1 of the series as the rivalry continues next. We are coming to you from Dodger Stadium as we get ready for Giants baseball. It's a pennant race, game 1 of this 3-game series, Giants and Dodgers. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants are a game back in the National League West, and they play the Dodgers for 3 games. So, Mike, game 1 of the series, the Giants hand the ball to Madison Bumgarner, and that's a good thing.
It is a good thing because when he takes the ball and the bright lights are on, everybody behind him feels like it's win day, and that's the feeling of invincibility that you want to have coming into a game like this. Make no mistake about it. This is the Dodgers-Giants. They're separated by 1 game. They're first and second in the division, and it is game on. Every city in Northern California is into it. Every city in Southern California is into it. It's pressure at its absolute best, and everybody in this Giants team is good to go. And you know what they're saying in L.A.? Everybody on that team's good to go. Let's play ball.
And we are good to go. Should be fun here tonight in L.A. as Bumgarner against Maeda. Stay tuned. We'll take you to our CSN Various studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger today at Jack in the Box. Limited time only at participating restaurants. And by Toyota. Toyota's Labor Day clearance event is here. For Labor Day only, get $2,500 total cash back on the redesigned 2016 Prius. Toyota, let's go places.
Dodgers have taken the field as we get ready for baseball. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 76 degrees here at the yard. You see the winds almost non-existent. Humidity at 60%, and it is, like it is always here, a bit hazy. Here's the lineup that'll face Kenta Maeda. It'll be Span Pagan, who's got an 18-game hitting streak, then Bell, Posey, and Crawford. Hunter Pence is going to hit sixth, and it's Nunez, Panic, and Madison Bumgarner.
On the hill tonight for the Dodgers will be the right-hander Kenta Maeda. Maeda, 6'1", 180-pounder. He's 28 years of age. This is his rookie campaign. Played 8 years of professional baseball in Japan, where he was a career 97 and 67 with an ERA of 2.39. That gives you an idea that he knows what he's doing, and he's proven it here in the States. 138 strikeouts against 35 walks in 136 innings. And you look at him, you don't really think he's a strikeout guy, but he's got 4 good pitches he'll throw at any time. A fastball that'll go low 90s, depending on the grip. Outstanding command of his specialty pitches. A curveball, slider, and a changeup that he throws out of a high 3/4 release. Lifetime against the Giants, 1-0. The first time he faced him, he dealt, was the winning pitcher in that game. Allowed just 1 earned run in 7 innings.
So here's Denard Span as we get ready to start this 3-game series. And the first pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it's taken for a ball. So we get started right on time at 7:10. Span hitting .272, 7 home runs, 42 runs batted in. In at third is Turner, and it's another pitch down low. It's Rob Drake calling balls and strikes. Carlos Torres, Sam Holbrook, Jerry Davis, and Jerry Davis, of course, is the crew chief.
Rob Drake, I mean, he's a low ball guy. It's not a big zone, but it's a good zone. It's pretty consistent. You do not have to be between a catcher's knees to get a strike.
And he misses there. It's 3-0. Maeda's looking in at Drake. I don't think that last pitch was a strike. It may have been that the one prior to that was close.
I think Maeda thinks he's missed 2 pitches already into this game. But it's not a big zone. But what you get the first, I mean, you're going to get it the 9th.
And it's right at the knees. 3-1.
Span taken all the way. He may take another one. 3-1.
He might. He's had 3 at bats against Maeda. He's 0 for 3. And the 3-1 to Span. And Span takes strike. It's 3-2.
Taken all the way. Get some pitches out of him. 5 pitches, 5 fastballs, so at least he knows the speed and the movement on the fastball. Hasn't seen any specialty pitch yet. And whatever specialty pitch Maeda has, he can and will throw it on a 3-2 count.
So Span lifts the 3-2 pitch foul. A souvenir down the left field line. Fans usually, it's hard to judge the size of the crowd because you have to wait a couple of innings before everybody's in their seats.
You see how Maeda uses his pitches. 42% of the time you can see the fastball. And the slider really is his go-to pitch. It's a good one. But he can strike out with all 4 of his specialty pitches.
And Span with a base hit to right field. Moving over is Seguin. And that's a leadoff single.
It's great at bat. Let's take a look at the Dodgers defensively behind Maeda tonight. Starting in their outfield from left to right, it'll be Kendrick, Hernandez, and Seguin. The best arm in center field with Hernandez. It's a good one. Seager, Turner on the right, on the left side of the infield. Culberson just called up, joins Gonzalez on the right side. And Yasmani Grandal, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Pagan. Pagan hasn't played over the last couple of games, but in the lineup tonight, hitting right at 299, and he takes a curveball for a strike. So Maeda breaking away from the fastball. Now, you always say you can get a lot of strikes on that pitch. First pitch strikes.
Nobody's going to go up there looking for a big curveball.
They're not. And the next pitch is down low, dug out by Grandal.
This was the play that Pagan made last Saturday when he aggravated his right groin. Came out of the game about an inning and a half later and missed all of Sunday. So he had Sunday off, Monday off. And they had hoped that he'd be here tonight, and here he is.
Not close. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Pagan has only had 2 at bats against Maeda. Lifetime, he's 0 for 2. With Belt to follow, and then Posey.
Maeda's the whole package. I mean, he can field his position well. He holds runners on well. Well trained.
And a check on Span. Span's dinged up a little bit, so in spots where you would think he might be going, maybe the Giants are going to hold him up. It's 2-1 to Pagan. And a line drive to left. It's going to carry out to Kendrick.
All right, time now for our Nissan keys to the game. Number 1, Bumgarner against Kike Hernandez. That's what we're going to watch. Hernandez comes into this game hitting 196. Lifetime against Bumgarner, 10 for 16, 4 doubles, 3 home runs. We're going to watch that very carefully. And the table setters and the money hits. That's going to be the key not only tonight but this whole series. Those are our Nissan keys to the game.
Here's Belt. Belt at 276. And the first pitch is a bit high. 1 ball and no strikes. Belt on the homestand was 10 for 41. And he does have 1 lifetime hit against Kenta Maeda. Here he hits a high fly ball to left. It's in the park for Kendrick. Span thought about tagging up, but wisely puts on the brakes. 2 outs. And here's Buster Posey. Buster Posey coming in at 291. We do have a sprinkling of Giants fans here at the ballpark.
Well, I think there are a lot of Giants fans here, but not all of them chose to wear their bright Friday night orange jerseys.
Buster on the homestand was 8 for 27 at 5 RBIs. And he takes a strike.
That little guy there.
He didn't care. He said, I'm bringing it.
Let's
I'm
go.
wearing it.
I've been thinking about this all week.
I'm wearing it. My head's a little tired right now, but I'm wearing it. Down low to Buster Posey. 0 for 3 against Maeda when Maeda faced the Giants in April. So Span opened up the game with a base hit, and then 2 balls hit to Kendrick. 1 was a line drive off the bat of Angel Pagan. Here's the 1-1. Will not be a pitch at all. It'll be another check on Span.
Maeda can give you an assortment of moves to first base. I mean, he's quick. He does all the little things right.
Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. The Reds are coming off a road trip where they went 4-3. In the middle of the trip, they lost, or make that the Dodgers. They lost 3 in a row in the middle of the trip. They won, however, the last 2 games in Cincinnati. And the Giants, on the 10-game homestand, are disappointed. They went 3-7. So here we are on a Tuesday night. It's 2-1 to Buster Posey. Posey gets jams and rolls this one to Turner, and that'll end the inning. Bumgarner coming out. Dodgers are coming up. Lineup to face Bumgarner. It'll be Kike Hernandez in the leadoff spot, and he does have true ownage on Bumgarner, followed by Kendrick, Seager, and Turner. Adrian Gonzalez yesterday had 3 home runs at Great American Ballpark. Then it's Grandal, followed by Sigadin, Culberson, and then the pitcher Kenta Maeda.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Madison Bumgarner, big left-hander, 6'5", 250, 27 years old. In his 7th year at the big league level, he's 12-7 with an ERA of 2.25. When he comes at you, you're going to see a fastball that's low 90s from a low 3/4 delivery. It's going to work its way in on the corner, on the inside corner to righties, away from the lefties. It's just a natural cut fastball. He's also got a slider, a curveball, and a changeup. Lifetime against these Dodgers, 13-8 with a 2.57 ERA, and it's even better here at Dodger Stadium. His ERA 2.40. And what do you say we take a look at the defense behind Bumgarner tonight, starting in the Giants outfield from left to right? It's going to be Pagan, Span, and Pence, the best arm in right field. Crawford, Nunez on the left side of the infield. Panic and Bell on the right side. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs. Perfect night for baseball. Not too hot, not too cold. Baseball weather. The only problem on the field is that there's gnats. The Dodger Stadium bugs are in full force tonight.
I hate that. Here's Kike Hernandez. And a strike to Hernandez, hitting 196. 6 home runs, 14 driven in, and the ownage is well documented. 10 for 16, 4 doubles, 3 home runs. And a curveball for a strike. Hernandez, last time he let off was in June, the end of June in Pittsburgh.
Well, he cut his hair. I'm just saying, he may have lost his mojo against Bumgarner.
And there's a breaking ball in the dirt. In April, gone.
Not a cheapie either.
And then again, gone.
So he's the Bumgarner whisperer. And it's the first time he's been in the leadoff spot in the lineup since June 27th.
Got him.
I think you're going to see a lot of curveballs to him tonight. Big curveball coming around the back door. As you mentioned, you don't have to have the pitch go between the catcher's legs with Rob Drake. He's got his strike zone, and if it drops in there, he's going to ring you up. And he's not afraid of strike three.
Kendrick takes a call strike.
One thing you look for with Madison Bumgarner is knee-high command. And early on, he's got it.
Eight home runs on the year for Kendrick. He doesn't play every day, but he plays a lot. And he's 3 for 15 in his career against Madison Bumgarner. Tap foul. It's 1-2.
From the Dodgers' perspective, they're thinking they're hitting the Giants at the right time because their 2, 3, 4, 5 guys are hot right now. Kendrick, Seager, Turner, Gonzalez, they're all swinging it. And Dave Roberts, the manager, very happy about that.
Hit on the ground to Panic. Panic on to Belt. And that'll bring up Corey Seager.
Shortstop number 5, Corey Seager.
Hard to imagine someone that could unseat this guy as Rookie of the Year.
Well, once Trevor Story went down to injury in Colorado, I mean, that was really his competition. I agree with you. Maybe Kenta Maeda might give him a run for his money.
Dodgers hit 7 home runs yesterday in Cincinnati, and Seager hit 1 of the 7.
Number 22 on the year.
This is only the 4th time that he's faced Bumgarner. His 4th at bat. 1 ball and 1 strike. Earlier we've seen the Dodgers really rest a lot of their left-handed hitters, but they've got so many of them that they can't rest them all against Bumgarner. This is driven into the gap into right center field, and Pence is going to play it off the wall. So it'll be a double for Seager.
Location on the slider, just right out there, pretty much T-ball location, and belt high over the middle. And for a guy who's seeing it well and swinging it well, that's not where you want to pitch it. I think from Bumgarner's perspective, you have to be happy it didn't get knocked out of the yard.
Hey, it stayed in the park. Here's Turner. Turner's hitting .275. Really a great year for him. 23 home runs, 72 driven in. And he takes a strike.
Southern California boy, went to Cal State Fullerton. He'll be a free agent at the end of the year.
And a base hit to left field. Pagan's throw is going to be offline, and it's 1-0.
you're hot, as we said, this 3, 4, 5 guys are. You find holes with 2 outs and runners in scoring position right through the 5.5 hole. And an easy score with Seager, who had a 2-out jump.
If Bumgarner's going to get dinged, it's usually going to be in the first. So here's Gonzalez. Gonzalez 8 for 48 against Bumgarner.
And he will sit on a speed. And right now, I don't think he's sitting on a fastball. Ten strikeouts in 48 at-bats against Bumgarner lifetime.
And Bumgarner's fastball is high. 2 balls and 1 strike. And a bit outside to make it 3-1.
That thing, when guys get hot, they absolutely hone their strike zones in. They don't go out of the zones. And the corner pitches. The one thing that Bumgarner does not want to do here, he does not want to walk Gonzalez and set up Turner in scoring position for free here. So this should be in the strike zone.
And a base hit into left field. So Gonzalez with a base hit.
So the 3, 4, 5 guys, as advertised, hot and all get hits here in the first.
So here's Grandal. Grandal is a switch hitter, so he'll turn around and hit right-handed against Bumgarner, as you would expect. 1 for 8 in his career against Bumgarner. And swinging a foul off of Buster Posey. To be pitch number 20 for Bumgarner here in the first. And he fouls this one out of play, 0-2.
Brought his glove. Meeting people he never knew before. Grab some pine meat.
So Bumgarner out in front. And a high fastball.
By design, saw the high target from Posey wanting that chest high fastball just above the letters. Grandal does not have long arms. He's quick middle in on both sides of the plate.
And tight, 2-2.
Dodgers making Bumgarner throw pitches. So used to so many teams taking a swing at the first pitch and be aggressive early in the count approach against Bumgarner. That has not been the case tonight with the Dodgers.
Breaking ball hit to Crawford. Crawford will go on to first, and that'll end the inning. So a run on 3 hits, 2 left. 1-0 LA.
to you by AAA. Get a free road trip day pack with a AAA insurance quote. Go to AAA.com/roadtrip or a AAA branch for details. Restrictions apply.
Well, Giants season tickets are currently sold out, but you can get on deck today for your 2017 tickets with a $500 per seat non-refundable deposit. Gain access to purchase all potential 2016 division home playoff games. So call this number 415-972-2298 or visit sfgiants.com/season. So Brandon Crawford's going to hit first.
Little guy's ready.
He is absolutely ready.
Total game face. I feel you, brother.
Crawford hitting .274. Curveball for a strike. The overshift is on for Crawford.
Straight away in the outfield, big shift in the infield.
And Crawford takes low and away.
Looked like Rob Drake thought about ringing that one up. Kenta Maeda is a dart thrower. He has exceptional command.
Crawford shoots one right back to Maeda. One out.
All right, time now for our greater coverage of baseball. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. And Sunday, Brandon Crawford made a diving play, the first out of the game. Jose Reyes, who'd been red hot, comes up. And this is how the game starts out. Absolutely had to be perfect with the speedy Reyes, thinking he had a knock when it left the bat. And Brandon Crawford said, I don't think so.
I don't think so at all.
Plus, you get to get dirty on the first hitter.
Absolutely. Here's Pence. And now for like fourth hitter in a row, that's a curveball to open up the at bat. One ball and one strike. Pence only has had 2 at-bats lifetime against Kenta Maeda. 1 for 2. And a strike, so it's 1 and 2. Not sure Hunter Pence is a guy that really looks for pitches, but I'm not sure that he was looking for a fastball there. It's 1 and 2. And this is tapped slowly, and Maeda's got it.
Talked about Maeda doing the little things right. An example of his defensive ability. Nice play. Right now, time for our Geico quote. This comes from Eduardo Nunez on a slow start with the Giants. That was not me the first week. I was a different person. I'm excited now. I've started feeling better defensively and offensively. I'm here. I know I'm going to be a part of this. That quote courtesy of Andrew Baggerly.
So here's Nunez hitting at .289. And the first pitch. And Nunez hits one into left center field, but in the park for Hernandez, and that's going to end the inning. Maeda with a shutdown inning. It's 1-0 Dodgers.
Amici's East Coast Pizzeria. When you want the best pizza in town, Amici's delivers.
1-0 Dodgers as Rob Segedin is standing in facing Madison Bumgarner. And a first pitch strike.
That's the one that Bumgarner wants to establish. The one that is the fastball to the right-handers on the inside corner at the belt. He gets that call to strike. They have to cover it, and that's going to break a lot of bats.
Segedin, a longtime minor leaguer that was brought up to help against left-handed pitching, and he's done a nice job. And he hammers one to left and gone. Once again, it's that guy you don't know.
Well, one thing we learned out of him, he's quick middle in. That ball dropped down a little bit off the belt down towards the knee. In further review, that was right out over the middle of the plate at the belt. And that was a location mistake.
So here's Charlie Culberson. Culberson, the former Giant, takes down low, hitting at 267.
How pumped up you think Segedin is?
Yeah, I don't blame him. Culberson hasn't played in the big league since July 20th. Only his second game since May 16th. And he rolls this one foul.
Culberson came up through the Giants organization. He's a good baseball player. He can do a lot of things for you. Utility player. Got a great arm. A little pop in his bat.
And here he will take a seat. And that'll bring up Kenta Maeda. Five for 43.
Well, he's got a home run. He's a threat.
First pitch is wide. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Down low, 2 balls and no strikes.
Probably taking a strike, maybe 2.
Kike Hernandez, the leadoff hitter, is on deck. And it's 2-1. Dodgers are 26-21 against the West. Giants are 31-18. Hit on the ground to Nunez. Nunez on to Bell. And here's Hernandez.
So right now it's Hernandez's job to just kind of stall around, gum up your bat that doesn't really need it. Take about as much time as you possibly can so that Maeda can get back in the dugout, towel off, get ready for the bottom half or the top half of the third rather. And normally, I say normally, he would take a strike, but when you're 10 for 17 against a guy with 4 doubles and 3 home runs, you can pretty much do whatever you want to do up there.
And the first pitch is hooked foul.
I don't think he was in the take mode.
Well, he took a third strike in the first, and I don't believe he's going to do that again. So if I'm going to strike out, it's going to be hacking. Carlos Gonzalez has the most, and then 3 games tied. 0-2. And this pop-up is straight back and out of play. Buster Posey wanted a high fastball, and that's what he got.
Well, it wasn't high enough, and you've got to be careful. Obviously, Hernandez sees him well. His lifetime numbers prove that. But if you're going to throw that high pitch above the letters, you better get it there, because if it leaks down and it's the top of the strike zone, a guy that sees you well is going to hurt you. I mean, that's one pitch that's not that easy to throw. You're so geared up to hit the knee-high corner on both sides of the plate, you just assume that a guy can hit the high fastball above the letters. It's not that easy of a pitch. Psyched.
Got him on a breaking ball, and that's going to end the inning. So Seguin hits a home run. We'll head to the third. It's 2-0 Dodgers.
Go. Need a tool? We got that. Need instruction? We got that too.
2-0 Dodgers. Giants are coming up here in the third. Maeda will face Panic, Bumgarner, and then Span. Breaking ball for a strike.
Another flop curveball. There hasn't been one Giant that has taken a swing at it. And every time Maeda's thrown it up there, he's stolen strike one.
Panic hit a home run off of Maeda in that April game. And that was the only blemish on Maeda's line. Takes outside, 2 balls and a strike.
I mean, the beauty of strike one, especially with the big flop curveball, is number one, you've just established an off-speed pitch. Number two, you're ahead 0-1. That gives you 2 shots to go to a corner, let your movement fall out of the strike zone, and hope that hitter helps you out. Now he's got to get back in the strike zone. 2-1.
It's slowly up the middle, and Culberson cannot make the play.
All right, time now for our Togo's Big Play the Togo's way. And Thursday against the Mets, Madison Bumgarner's last start, steps up against Jacob deGrom and does this. Unloads. It gave the Giants a 1-run lead. It was his 3rd of the season and his 14th of his career. Our Togo's Big Play.
$12 for 67 on the season, with Denard Span on deck. And a breaking ball for a strike. Panic's got 5 steals, but it is not likely you're going to see him go in this spot here. At the knees.
Take a look at the last pitch. Looked like a little backup slider. But whatever. I mean, Bumgarner was looking for a fastball, so another example of Rob Drake's strike zone. You don't have to throw it between the catcher's knees.
So Panic with the infield hit. He's at first. Got him.
So stayed away from the fastball the whole at bat. They got him with an assortment of breaking stuff. First strikeout of the night for Maeda.
Span opened up the game with a line drive base hit to right field. We're in the top half of the 3rd inning. Span shows bunt. And there's a breaking ball that misses. How about that? That's the story.
That's news.
That is news.
You know, his breaking ball is not a get-it-in slider either. I mean, it's a big tilt, slow curveball. And even if you're looking for it, it's not that easy to do anything with it. And that's the same thing he did to the Giants earlier this year. I mean, he really utilized that big curveball to steal pitches, gain advantage. And what's so impressive about it is because it is so big, it's not that easy to command. It's easy to bounce it on home plate when you're ahead 0-2, 1-2. But to consistently put it at the base of the strike zone, that's impressive. .46% of the time. That's how many fastballs that he'll throw and how he uses his fastball. The rest of the time, it's off speed stuff.
Panic with his lead, 1 out. 3-1.
7 of the first guys that Maeda has faced in this game tonight, he has started them off with a breaking ball first pitch. He has missed throwing it for a strike once.
Once.
And this is in this at bat to Span. And nobody swung at it.
So here's Pagan. Pagan maybe has had the best at bat of anybody, and it was an out. He had a line drive that Kendrick raced in and caught it chest high.
It's a good at bat. They're riding an 18-game hit streak right now. So you know he's seeing it big. And I think this time through the lineup, I think you're going to see this Giants team start sitting soft. Forget the fastball, because when you get it, it's not anywhere near the center of the plate anyway. One thing I've always enjoyed watching veteran lineups adjust to a pitcher, especially a command pitcher, during the course of a ball game from at bat to at bat.
It was crossed up.
Crossed up. Yeah, you got Grandal looking for a breaking ball.
That hit him on the fly or the bounce?
No, that was a fastball. Hit him on the wrist. He's looking breaking ball, and he gets a fastball, and that's how you can hurt your catcher. Now, Maeda's not a blazer. He's averaging right around 90 miles an hour with a fastball. But even at that, if you have a catcher thinking curveball and you cross him up with a fastball, you can break his hand.
Those are like the toughest pass balls you could possibly have.
Well, it's a bad call. It shouldn't be a pass ball. You cannot penalize a catcher when the pitcher crossed him up. But hey, Giants don't care. They get 2 free gifts at 90 feet. And they've set it up for their hottest hitter, Pagan.
Also, it might have been a strike.
It was right down the dish.
The scoreboard here has it 1-0. So I'm not exactly sure what the count is.
Well, location-wise, it was a strike. The scoreboard says ball 1. There we go. That's how it should be.
Got him again.
He crossed him up again. I don't remember a catcher ever being crossed up in 2 consecutive pitches. But what you do now, you just go basic signs. If you're on a pump system or you had some other unique system, now it's like first sign.
Interpreter time.
Yeah, they're bringing the interpreter out. Rick Honeycutt going to come out. Grandal's going, this guy's killing me. Tell him it's first sign after a 2.
Can you please say this very softly? You're right. Tell him he's killing me. I think he's got the Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick wristband on. There it is.
Well, it's in 2 languages too.
So let's see if it's all squared away. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. And Pagan comes up empty. It's 1-2. A ground ball to the infield in certain spots is going to give the Giants a run. Instead, line drive, base hit. The throw is going to go to third. Span makes it. Coming in to score is Panic. Pagan extends his hitting streak. A lot of real good things happened on that.
Well, yeah, he threw him the spider 2 wide banana and he went right back up the middle with it.
The what? The spider 2 wide?
Yeah, the spider 2 wide banana. That was right in the middle of the plate. He hangs a fastball. And Hernandez is not the best Dodger center fielder coming in on the ball. Could not do much with that. Hey, it extends the hitting streak for Pagan, but more importantly, it put the Giants on the board.
So here's Belt. Belt has a chance to tie the game. Belt hit a fly ball to left. in the first inning. Here he chases one and misses, and it's 0-1. Buster Posey's on deck. At third is Span. Pagan's aboard at first. Not close. 1 ball and 1 strike. I mean, if you're Grandal, you got to be like, I think I know what's coming.
Yeah, and none of that. You got at third base. Can't be 100% confident. Again, the curveball. Bell thought that was low. Bell is 4 for his last 25. And that's with 11 strikeouts. And this one right here, he's not happy about.
Well, he can make an out here and still tie the game. So the importance of this at bat is put the ball in play.
Contact. Medium fly ball.
Maeda going back up top. That's the one that Belt swung and missed at on the first pitch. So now it's 2-2, and now if you're Belt, you're really not quite sure what you're going to get, because you could get just about anything.
Well, and that's all you need to know about Maeda. Best arm the Dodgers have in the outfield is in center field with Hernandez. It's a good one.
And to me, Mike, it looks like they're going with one sign.
Well, nobody at second right now. I mean, I would imagine they would. You don't always do that on the road, but at home.
Got him.
And that's the strikeout he was pitching for. Well, the Braves coming to town this Friday, August 26th through the Sunday. And Saturday the 27th, we're giving away Sergio Romo portable speakers to the first 20,000 fans, courtesy of Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Get your tickets right now. Go to sfgiants.com/tickets.
So now it'll take a hit. Buster Posey bounced out to third in the first. Here he lines one into center field, and this game is tied. Buster Posey doesn't waste any time. And was that a first pitch breaking ball?
And he was sitting on it.
Number 35, Brandon Crawford.
And I would expect Crawford to do the same thing. Sit soft. Here's a get it in first pitch hanger just above the belt. Posey, that's room service.
So here's Crawford now with good speed at second and Pagan. But Posey's RBI now gives him 60 on the year. Crawford leads this team in RBIs with 74. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike.
There's pitch changeup. If you get predictable to a speed, you're going to see some massive adjustment from a lineup. Because there's an ongoing dialogue in that dugout about everything that they're seeing, everything that's happening in that game, what the guy's got, what he's getting over, what his strikeout pitch is, what he'll throw 2-0, 3-1. And guys will definitely go up there and they'll have a plan. And it's not so much looking for a pitch as it is looking for a speed.
1-1 to Crawford. And Crawford taps this one foul. It's 1-2.
The changeup, perfect location. That's a little two-seam grip with the changeup, and it's got a little movement that's running away from the left-handed hitting Crawford. And Maeda could not run it up there and put it in a better location. That was a perfect pitch.
So Crawford battling 1-2.
It's a two-seam grip and a fastball right there, and he'll just circle change it, but use the same grip with the two seams when he throws a changeup. He'll also throw it with four seams. Kind of a wasted pitch there, easy take.
It really was. I wonder if he just wants to go back and throw that changeup.
I think he does.
And you throw the high fastball, and then you come back with the changeup.
Or you do that, and you come right in on a guy's hands with hard stuff. But if you miss off the plate with it. 2 outs, he's got a base to put Crawford. So he doesn't have to throw a strike.
Up the middle. Seager will step on the bag, and that'll end the inning. Giants tie it up. It'll be the Beef coming up to face Bumgarner. It's 2-2.
By Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com.
Well, the Giants Insider Podcast is sponsored by Max Muscle Sports Nutrition and is live on csnbayarea.com. And you can log on each week as Insider Alex Pavlovich talks baseball. Also available on iTunes.
2-2 ball game. And Kendrick, who bounced out, is going to lead things off. These are the guys that Mike mentioned earlier. They're swinging the bats right now. It'll be Kendrick, Seager, and Turner. And a breaking ball down low.
Well, Giants definitely brought some momentum into their dugout with the 2-spot they put on the board at the top of the third. Now, Bumgarner could add to it with a shutdown inning.
Crawford on the third hop. Throws out Kendrick. 1 out.
Number 5, Corey Seager.
There's John Miller. He'll join me. Innings 4, 5, and 6.
Okay, we were supposed to have Dave back, but the powers that be have decided that Dave needed to stay one more day on assignment.
But he will be back tomorrow.
Unless the powers that be change their mind.
Powers that be are working against us.
is scheduled to be back, and we'll look forward to seeing him. We miss him. Seager doubled in his first at bat. Here he takes a breaking ball high.
Couple of clowns.
Swing.
I like a catcher to call a curveball twice in a row, especially if a guy misses high. Give him a chance to zero that curveball into the strike zone. Call it a second time. That second one was a good one.
Bumgarner comes back with a fastball. See, Bumgarner, he goes to his wrist to get moisture, and then he puts him on the baseball. He does it a lot, and he especially does it every time he gets a new ball.
Well, with the mud that's on the baseball, a little sweat, it gives you a little sticky feeling. It gives you a good feel of the baseball.
Line drive, base hit.
He's hot. I mean, when a guy does that, I mean, you're looking at a guy who's going to hit 300. Because that is a pitcher's pitch in a 1-2 count, and it's not a hanger. That's with cut movement running off the plate away. And what's he do with it? He just goes to left field with it.
Yeah, that pitch, Mike, was 6 inches outside.
He has no problem taking what the pitcher gives him. I mean, that's maturity in the eyes of a young hitter.
Here's Turner. Turner hit a ball between Crawford and Nunez for an RBI single, and he did that in the first. And the first pitch is down low. So Bumgarner now pitching for a ground ball to Crawford. Base hit right field. So Seager will move all the way to third. And now the Dodgers have runners at the corners with 1 out.
Back-to-back opposite field strokes. Talked about how hot these guys were, and you're watching firsthand as to why they're hot. They're using the whole field. They're not going out of the strike zone. I mean, this is another pitch, and that is not across the plate. That's away. If Turner tries to pull this thing, he rolls it over. It's a ground ball double play. He stays inside. Elbow in tight to his backside as he throws the hands through the ball. That's just a great at bat.
Here's Gonzalez. And Gonzalez fouls it out of play.
He was bushwhacking there. He was sitting fastball and got it. Gonzalez has hit into 14 double plays this year.
Pagan will make the catch, and scoring is Seager.
So it winds up being a good situation with that for Gonzalez. Get that fly ball deep enough to score Seager. And Bumgarner's not going to get that shutdown inning.
So here's Grandal. Grandal bounced out to short to end the first inning. Here he takes up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Swing and a miss on a high fastball.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to punch one to right field with that swing either.
Turner's got 3 steals. Curveball for a strike, 1 and 2.
Good one.
Turner extends his lead, and now Bumgarner will soft toss to first. 54 pitches for Bumgarner.
Well, that's a lot. I mean, at the end of 3 innings, you want to be 45 or less. Gives you an idea of how far over the norm he is at 54.
And he got him, and that'll end the inning. Dodgers score a run on 2 hits. John Miller will be in. I'll see you back here in the 7th. It's 3-2 LA.
Bay Area is brought to you by Mr. Pickle's Sandwich Shop, where the summer blockbusters aren't just stellar, they're interstellar.
(3-2) Dodgers. We're at the top of the 4th inning. Now joining us in the booth, my pal John Miller. Welcome.
A lot of action in this game already, and we might have expected a 1-0 game, a 2-1 game, a pitcher's battle, because this is a pitcher's park. But you've got a red-hot offense in the Dodgers, and the Giants have a few guys who started to come around as well with the bats as Hunter Pence leads off. But once again, after tying the ball game with a 2-run third, the Giants are having to play catch up again. Called strike. Perfect pitcher's spot there, knee high, right on the outside edge, right on the black.
Yeah, better take that one.
That's way outside and high. I had a guy on the Instagram ask the question, when you say on the black, what do you mean? So I just explained that home plate, the top of the plate is white, but it's got the black border. It kind of slants downward, and that black border is in the strike zone, part of the plate. No swing, said first base umpire Carlos Torres on the appeal. There you see it.
You have to kind of scooch the dirt away from the plate to actually see the black, but trust me, it's there.
Trust me, it's there. 2-1 the count. A long throw by Seager, and he got Hunter Pence.
Number 10, Eduardo Nunez.
So Eduardo Nunez will come up now.
got a good swing going right now. Pretty straight away, which is where you have to play Nunez. I mean, he hits it all over, as we have found out, line to line. His power's to the pull side. So a first pitch fastball with 2-seam movement in the inside corner. Talked about how Maeda uses his pitches, but he really understands the fastball. Changes his grips, moves it around the strike zone. Just very subtle things, but in the eye of the hitter, it's a big thing. And even if the movement on a pitch isn't big, if you're putting it on the corners of the strike zone, it's very, very effective.
A ball and a strike to Nunez. 2-1. Dodgers got single runs in the first and second innings. Turner singled home Seager, who had doubled in the first, and then Seguin, the rookie, hit a home run in the second. The Giants tied the game in the third. An RBI single by Pagan, and then with 2 down, Buster Posey got the RBI single that tied it. That kind of hung up there, but too high. 3-1. Maeda out of the Japanese leagues. He was a longtime member of the Hiroshima Carp in the Central League. And he's been the Dodgers' best pitcher in the absence of Kershaw. That's a walk for Nunez.
Well, Maeda didn't think so. He thought he had the inside corner with that fastball. So second walk for Maeda.
And that's above average for him to walk 2 in the first 4 innings.
Talked about Bumgarner trying to get the shutdown inning, couldn't get it. Well, it's the same opportunity here for Maeda, trying to keep that momentum in his team's dugout. Right now he's facing a guy that sees him well, and that's Panic.
Panic hit a home run into right field. The only other time the Giants saw Maeda, which was back in mid-April in this ballpark. That was the only run they got against Maeda. Panic got an infield hit, slow bouncer toward the middle in the third. That started the 2-run rally for the Giants. Nunez, a threat to steal. He has 31 stolen bases this year.
He's going to have to earn it, because Maeda is very quick out of the stretch, and Rondal's got a very good arm.
He is the possible tying run. And back to the bag again. Giants have 4 hits. They've received a couple of walks. And the Dodgers have 6 hits already against Bumgarner, as Buster Posey talks to Brandon Belt.
It's nice to have a guy who hits middle away well, like Panic does in this situation, because you're going to see fastballs away.
Quicker throw that time, and it was fairly close at first base.
Adrian Gonzalez, like Brandon Belt, I mean, they have a real quick slap tag that they'll put on a would-be runner, would-be base stealer, a guy who's trying to inch out and get as far away from that play or from that base as he can. Reminds me of JT Snow, Will Clark, Willie McCovey, same type of snap tag.
Big curveball for a strike.
Such an advantage to be a left-handed first baseman when you're trying to put a quick tag on a guy getting back.
And Gonzalez has always been not just an outstanding fielder at first base, but just great soft hands. Now it goes to 2-1. If you're a pitcher making a pickoff throw, an infielder having to make a hurried throw, just get it over there quickly, because almost surely he's going to be able to handle it. Two and 1 the count to Joe Panic. This is Often a running count. He started and stopped, and the ball is fouled back to the screen.
And that was a fastball away. He had it right up there around the belt. That's where he likes him. Good high ball mistake hitter.
The outfield is backed up straight away. Nunez, the runner at first, with one out. Bumgarner is on deck. Giants trail 3-2 here in the 4th inning. On play, foul off the third base side. Kenta Maeda, born in Osaka, but lives in Hiroshima, where he played for 8 years. Shortstop Seager shaded toward the middle against Panic. And he lays off. Tantalized him with the off-speed pitch away. 3-2.
Well, we haven't seen Nunez go this entire at bat. And I think a lot of it has to do with the pitcher on deck. But Madison Bumgarner is not your average hitting pitcher, so I would expect him to move here. 3-2.
There he goes. And it's ball 4. 2 consecutive walks.
And guys that see pitchers well, they don't go out of the strike zone.
Number 40, Madison Bumgarner.
Now Bumgarner, who's a guy who likes to go up there and just try and launch one out of the ballpark, but just a base hit to the outfield could be very productive right here to get the tying run home.
Well, one thing we've learned about Bumgarner is he's not just a fastball brain dead hack. He's a guy that has a plan, and he saw nothing but breaking balls in his first at bat, and I would imagine he's going to go up there and look for that, just sit on a breaking ball, and he's a good enough breaking ball hitter to hurt you. You're looking for a location mistake.
So Nunez at second, Panic at first, 1 out, breaking ball, and he took off after it, topped it foul, 0-1.
He was looking for it, and he got the location mistake, and he was mad. Just a little bit too early on it.
Looking at Roberto Kelly, third base coach, running through some signs. A very fast runner at second, Nunez. Panic, the runner at first. 1 out. There they go. The throw to third is there. He's out. Panic into second.
Well, a bit of a risk when you combine the quick delivery of Maeda and the great arm of Grandal. And watch Turner go down there. I mean, a low throw, but it just goes right into the momentum of Nunez, and Nunez had nowhere to go.
Completely blocked him off the bag. It's 1-1 to Bumgarner, and 2-1.
I don't know why you don't see more infielders do that when guys doing head first slide. Head first slides, I mean, you're not going to get hurt as an infielder if you lay your body out there. I mean, you can't block the base off totally, but it's a call that never gets called. The way you put it into it is you slide in free first. That guy's going to block the bag out. You let him taste your spikes.
2-2 Bumgarner. That was just a big lollipop curveball, and he took it, and didn't seem happy that he took it. 2-2. Panic still out there in scoring position with 2 down. Strike 3 called. And Bumgarner complains about that call a little bit. Still 3-2 Dodgers. Last of the fourth upcoming.
Area is brought to you by PG&E, together building a better California.
Hey, Friday, August 26th is Superheroes and Comics Night presented by Adobe. Your special event ticket will include a collector's edition Giants Iron Man bobblehead and a ticket to see the Giants take on the Braves. Go to sfgiants.com/special events for more information.
Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Showdown. The Giants and Dodgers, only 38 games, including this one, left in the schedule, and 9 of them against each other. So less than a quarter of the season remaining, and almost a quarter of the remaining season against each other for the Giants and the Dodgers. Eduardo Nunez, who tried to steal third, and it did not work out. He didn't, and it was not that close a play either.
And it had to be a sign from the bench because both runners were going. This is not something that he did on his own. This is not a green light steal attempt. This is a sign from the bench, and it really takes the bat right out of the hands of a hot hitter, and Eston Span.
So here's Rob Segedin, the rookie, who hit a home run in the second inning. 3-2, the Dodgers lead the Giants. And that's a called strike. The Giants got 2 walks in the fourth inning against Maeda, and it's only the 3rd time all year that he's issued 2 walks in the same inning. One of the other times was against the Giants back in April. That's a called strike 2 on the outside. Segedin's only had 32 major league at bats this year. Now with 2 homers, he's had 12 runs batted in. This is only his 15th game. Curveball. That goes foul.
Well, this was the home run in the second inning that absolutely stunned Bumgarner. And if you look at the location of the pitch, you really shouldn't be that surprised. That was a fastball right over the middle of the plate above the belt. Segedin made it pay.
It gave the Dodgers a 2-0 lead in the second. The Giants got 2 in the third to tie it, and LA promptly untied it. They've scored 1 run in each of the first 3 innings, leading 3-2. That is strike 3 called.
Now, there's not a pitcher alive that gives up a home run to a guy, doesn't want to strike him out in his next at bat, especially when it's a guy you didn't even know.
5th strikeout of the game for Bumgarner, and his 200th strikeout this year in 179 innings. First left-handed pitcher in Giants history with 3 straight seasons of 200 strikeouts or more. The others who have done it: Hall of Famers Amos Rusi, Christy Mathewson, Juan Marichal, and Tim Lincecum. And that's Angel Pagan taking care of a beach ball, which bounced back on the field again. Angel was gentle with that beach ball. Most of the security people, they get a beach ball, then they pop it.
Oh yeah,
Put it out.
I once asked one of the ushers, "Hey, what do you use to pop that thing with?" He goes, "My pen." What a great question I asked the guy.
Charlie Culberson with a count of 0-1. He struck out his first time. Bumgarner's thrown a lot of pitches early on in this game. So if he could get a quick inning, that would be good. Curveball. Whoa. Bumgarner not too happy about that call.
Yeah, it's been pretty consistent with Rob Drake's strike zone that would be a strike. That's one of the few he hasn't given Bumgarner.
Two and one. Maeda, the pitcher, is on deck. Cubs are playing down the road in San Diego and leading 4-0 over the Padres at the end of 5 innings. Jake Arrieta, Cubs ace, pitching in that one. Off his foot. 2-2. Well, we mentioned Bumgarner has now had 200 strikeouts or more in 3 straight years. First lefty in Giants history to do it. But Russi, Marichal, and Lincecum each did it 4 straight years. Lincecum 08 through 2011. Crawford gets it over there quickly to retire Culberson, who was hustling up the line. 2 down. Tim Lincecum, when you think strikeout, that was almost like that was his middle name. Yes, he was really the top strikeout pitcher in the league for several years.
Oh, he was exciting. And he never really got quick out of the stretch. He had that little stubbornness that pitchers get who can strike you out, that I don't care if he steals second, I'm striking the next guy out. Rob Nin had it. And Lincecum often would back it up. So would Rob Nin.
Here's Maeda, who grounded out to third his first time. He swings the bat pretty well. His numbers are not great, only 5 for 44, but he almost never strikes out.
Well, if you got a guy who consistently puts the ball in play, he's a threat. Plus, he's got a home run.
His first game of the year, his first game as a Dodger, he hit a home run. A slow curveball. He didn't get that one. 0-2. It was a big boy curveball.
Yeah, he swung as hard as he threw it, too. Like he was swinging a sword right there.
0-2. Struck him out with a fastball. 6 strikeouts for Bumgarner in 4 innings. And he got the quick inning. Top of the order, Span, Pagan, and Belt coming up. The Giants are down by a run.
The NorCal Acura Grand Slam giveaway on CSN. So Gene Matthews, you're going to win an Acura MDX if a Giants player hits a Grand Slam this inning. So go to AcuraNorCalDealers.com for more information on how to enter. So hey, top of the lineup, Gene. That's good.
Erwin Higueros on the left and Marvin Bernard, former Giants outfielder, on the right. Broadcasting this game in Spanish. Back to the Bay Area. There's sort of an auxiliary booth down below. Curveball low for ball 1 to Denard Span. They're right beneath Vince Scully. Right, and also right next to Radio Korea. Span has singled and walked and scored a run. The little backdoor breaking ball in there for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Marvin Bernard came in on the bus today and he was fired up. Oh man, you'd have thought he was scheduled to lead off and play center tonight. Now,
2-1.
Erwin Higueros normally has to calm down Tito Fuentes. Because Tito is fired up every day of his life, but I think he was going to have his hands full tonight, keeping Marvin kind of calm down.
Along the left field line, it is foul. Couldn't get to it. Turner from third base, Seager from short, Kendrick from left, but it just wouldn't stay fair. Well, Marvin looks very calm there. He had some big moments against the Dodgers. Marvin is from Nicaragua, but his family moved here to Southern California when he was a kid. So he kind of grew up down here. And those were always big games for him. And whether there was a rivalry between the Giants and Dodgers or not. And I remember at AT&T Park, one of the early years of the ballpark, he hit a game-ending home run against LA. Walk-off. Two and 2 to Span. And a foul out of play off the left field line.
Well, Marvin's still very much involved in baseball. I mean, they had earlier this season, they had the WBC tournament for the qualifiers. And he was the manager of the Nicaraguan team. They got all the way to the finals and they got beat by Mexico. But we were talking today about some Nicaraguan prospects. He says they got some good arms down there. Good to see him back in the game.
Right to Gonzalez. Maeda covering. And that's off the Span. Bruce Bochy said before the game that the Giants are a little concerned about Span's groin muscle. They're hoping that it doesn't go on him. It's a little tender. Of course, it did go out on Pagan on Saturday. He had to leave that game after 3 innings and missed the Sunday game with the Mets. Back in here tonight, and he has hit the ball hard twice. Once to extend his hitting streak in the 3rd inning, a single that knocked in the Giants' first run. Curveball for a strike. So Pagan is 1 for 2. He's also lined out to the left fielder, and he's hitting .300 now.
Well, he's been hitting .356 during this streak. And go back in and take a look at who the Giants played these last 19 games. He saw some of the best pitching in all of baseball. So it has been a very impressive 19-game hitting streak.
Check swing. And no, says Jerry Davis, the crew chief, who's umpiring at 3rd. 2 balls and a strike to Pagan. Brandon Belt on deck. Giants are down 3-2. We're in the 5th inning. And that's another base hit. He flipped it right over the head of Turner, the 3rd baseman. And Pagan is 2 for 3.
First baseman Brandon Belt.
Brandon Belt will come up. Well, Belt like to get some of that Pagan magic going because it's not going well for Brandon. He's flied out to left and struck out in this game. Dodgers going to the overshift. And right now they're giving him third base. Seager is standing at shortstop. Turner, the third baseman, has moved to the right side. Third base is untended.
Well, he might take it. He's 4 for his last 26. He's looking for confidence.
And heading for second is Pagan as the ball bounced away from Grandal. A wild pitch. So now Seager will have to play much closer to third base. In fact, they're just going to send Justin Turner back over there. Turner was the only one who moved out of position when they had the overshift on. So now, because he's the third baseman, he goes back to third, and it is Seager who vacates shortstop. They have some very complicated methods of going into that overshift.
Outfield straight away to their relief.
1 ball and no strikes to Belt, and 2-0. Buster Posey is on deck. You remember earlier this year they went into New York and there was a little sort of controversy there about the Dodgers wanting to make marks in the outfield as to where their outfielders should play and the different outfield sets. Belt down the right field line. That ball is fair. One hop against the wall. Pagan scores easily. A double for Brandon Belt, and that felt good for Belt and all of his teammates. This game is tied, and Belt at second with Posey coming up.
Maeda did not give in to the 2-0 fastball. It was a breaking ball, and it wasn't a hanger either. It was down. And Belt goes down, and he gets it. I mean, this is the guy they need to get going. He cannot be in a 4 for 26 this time of year. He needs to light it up, and this is a big swing of the bat for him.
So now Buster Posey, who hit the first pitch he saw for an RBI single to put the Giants into a tie in the 3rd inning with 2 down. And now he's got Belt in scoring position. 32nd double of the year for Belt. And that's a called strike to Buster. That ball left Belt's bat at 104 miles an hour. So he hit a screamer down the right field line. One out, runner in scoring position. And Buster back out of play. He was way off balance on that one. 0-2.
Yeah, I think he's frustrated. He swung at Maeda's pitches. Maeda tonight, I mean, he gets 0-1, and then the next 6 times tonight he's gone to a 2-1 count. Just nibble off the plate, that movement, fall out of the strike zone. And that's one of the few times he's got somebody to chase that 0-1 breaking ball off the plate away.
So Posey in no ball 2 strike hole here. Crawford on deck. And he lunges at that one and gets a piece of it. Even further off the plate.
Pitch number 90 for Maeda. You saw Jesse Chavez in the Dodger bullpen heating up. It's just the second 0-2 count that Maeda has had tonight. Done a very good job of pitching behind him.
Two strikes to Buster Posey, hitting .292 for the year. Belt, the possible go-ahead run at second. In the dirt and saved on a big bounce by Grandal. The Dodgers yesterday scored 18 runs at the end of their road trip in Cincinnati, but their starting pitcher Kazmir went only 2 2/3 innings And they used 7 pitchers. Bullpen had to go in the last 6 1/3 innings in that game. Jesse Chavez was one of those who came in out of the pen. One and 2 to Buster Posey. Buster laid off that one.
Oh, good pitch, good take. That's a great 1-2 pitch. And look at he's got first base open here. I mean, he could care less if he walks Posey. Posey's already beat him once tonight in an RBI situation.
There's Clayton Kershaw looking on from the Dodger dugout. Kershaw on the disabled list. To third. Laid off one, but not that one. And Turner throws him out. 2 down. Belt still at second. Brandon Crawford will head to the plate. Three to 3. We're in the 5th inning. A run is in. Pagan singled, was wild pitch to second, and then Belt doubled him home. Crawford hit one very hard, 101 miles an hour off his bat, but it was snared by Maeda on a quick bounce. He threw him out, and then he got him to ground out to short in the 3rd inning. So Crawford is 0 for 2, and it's ball 1.
Again, I don't expect that Crawford's going to see a whole lot to hit. There'll be no fastball challenges over the middle. If he gets in the strike zone, it's going to be with something soft.
The right-handed hitting Hunter Pence is on deck. Ball 2.
Just nibble, nibble, nibble. Just take advantage of a hitter's natural aggressiveness in situations where there's a runner in scoring position. I mean, every hitter, especially guys in the heart of the lineup, they want to knock that run in, and they'll go out of the zone. And that's a big weapon of Maeda's. He takes advantage of that.
Belt away from second, ready to run at the crack of the bat with 2 down. Did he swing? No, says Jerry Davis, third base umpire. On the appeal. 3-0.
All right, did he go? No.
Well, they're going to walk him intentionally now that it's 3-0. So here's the intentionally wide ball 4. And that's the 4th walk allowed by Maeda. And here comes Hunter Pence. And Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach, talking to the bullpen where Chavez is getting ready as Maeda is closing in at 100 pitches for the game. It's only the 5th inning.
Now, both teams have done a good job of getting pitches out of the pitchers.
Hunter Pence 0 for 2 in the game.
First pitch off speed, and he was out front. You could just tell by the bat speed or lack of. Once that front shoulder flew out, he just sort of dragged that ball through the zone.
The outfield is backed up, but straight away. Belt at second, Crawford at first. He showed him the fastball out of the strike zone, 1-1.
The thing about Hunter Pence, though, I mean, he is not your typical hitter. There's not anything orthodox about this guy, which makes him extremely dangerous when he's hot, because he'll hit pitches literally 6 inches off the ground or an inch above his head.
That's a wild pitch. The second wild pitch of the inning, a big snapping breaking ball that got away from Grandal. And now Belt's at third and Crawford's at second.
That should never happen when you have a breaking ball that doesn't at least have a better or more body in front of it. You have time on a slow breaking ball to move your body. Grandal just reached across his body. Look, I know it's late August. But that's a big mistake right there. Slow curveballs are the easiest ones to block.
2-1 to Pence. 2-2. That was pitch number 101.
Like Pence is trying to pull him, and that's not the way you should go after this guy.
Belt at third, Crawford at second, 2 down. 3-3 the score. From the windup. And a pop-up foul out of play.
He had back leg in that swing. He was on him, and he just missed it. I don't think too about Pence. I mean, he's as likely to hit one out of the ballpark at a 2-strike count as he is a 2-0 count.
Big pitches here from Maeda with runners at second and third, 2 down. The fastball for the strikeout. But the Giants have tied the game. Top of the order coming up for LA.
th It's Margaritaville at the Yard. The special event includes access to the Margaritaville pregame party and a Giants parrot bobblehead and a ticket to see the Giants take on the Braves. Go to sfgiants.com/special events. Check it out.
Check it out. Top of the order for the Dodgers. It's 3-3. Here's Kike Hernandez, who struck out twice, and the curveball is off the inside for ball 1 from Madison Bumgarner. 103 pitches thrown in 5 innings for Kenta Maeda.
And his night's probably over.
Back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hernandez, who's had a lot of success against Bumgarner, including in the first time that Bumgarner saw him this year when he hit 2 home runs and a double against him. That's a base hit.
They gave him a fastball, and all his damage really has been done on fastballs for the most part. Tonight he had been softballing him with a lot of off-speed stuff. Here they set the outside target. They did not want to make a mistake over the middle of the plate with a fastball. And that's a mistake. And Hernandez, who hits the fastball with, well, I mean, he's pretty much owned the fastball on Bumgarner. Makes him pay again to lead off an inning.
So here's Howie Kendrick. He's hit a couple of ground balls. Either one would have been a double play ball had there been a man on base for either one. After Kendrick, the big hitters Seager, Turner, Adrian Gonzalez, the 3, 4, 5 spots, they have worn out Bumgarner tonight. Hernandez easily back to first. He has only 1 steal this year. Crawford at short. Panic at second. Pulled in a bit. Double play depth. Belt on the bag at first with Hernandez. And over to the Dodger dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3-3. Dodgers got single runs in each of the first 3 innings. The Giants got 2 in the 3rd and 1 here in the 5th. Here's Dave Roberts, Dodger manager, whose team has picked up 9 games on the Giants in the last 7 weeks or so. That's in there for a called strike 2.
Good curveball. It's been a good weapon for him tonight.
Three runs, 6 hits for the Giants. 3 runs, 7 hits for LA. Corey Seager on deck. Bumgarner knocks it down. It's the out, just barely in second.
A bit of a barrel right there. That's something the Giants are going to look at. The way that Hernandez went into second base. Now, you can't go with the bag. Now, he did stay in contact with the bag, but that's something that I'm sure the Giants are going to ask about. Ron Woda's looking at it right now.
You're supposed to slide straight into the bag. You're not supposed to go in with that barrel roll that you're talking about.
He did stay in contact with the base, and that's the only thing that saved him here. If that toe comes off the base right there, they'd have called it out. Double play. Very close.
So Ron Wodas did check with Sean Dunston, Chad Chop in the video room near the Giants clubhouse here. So here is Corey Seager, and that is out of play. Seager hit a double into the gap in right center and scored a run in the first. And he singled to left. He took a pitch, not a bad pitch from Bumgarner, I thought, away, maybe even out of the strike zone, right over the head of Nunez at third for a single, and scored again later in that inning. These are the guys they've had: Seager, Turner, and Gonzalez. 5 hits, 5 at bats, plus a sacrifice fly by Adrian Gonzalez. Kendrick at first base after the force out.
Right now, you really have to force yourself to get the ball down to Seager.
Seager, who among rookies leading in batting average, second in homers, second in RBIs, first in runs, first in hits, second in on-base percentage, and he plays a skill position, shortstop, besides. Very high. He laid off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Justin Turner, a right-handed hitter, is on deck. And he's also, that's among rookies, but he's up there. He began the night 3rd in the league in batting average among all hitters. 2nd in hits. 3rd in doubles. Curveball just off the inside. 2-2. Well, a lot of people thought he was going to be a big-time player in the major league, but it's happening early on. This is his first full season. He was basically a September call-up last year. Two and 2.
I mean, every speed that you're throwing up there to him right now, I mean, he's staying on his back leg. I mean, there's no drift. You're talking about a guy. He's a tall hitter. For a tall hitter to be able to stay back as well as he's staying back, and he's done it for the good part of this year, that's what's remarkable. Especially when you figure that, you know, he's learning the league. He's 6'4".
Middle infield, double play depth. Belt on the bag at first with Kendrick. Very high. 3-3 the score. So we'll keep an eye on Howie Kendrick over at first base, who has 8 steals. He leads the Dodgers in steals.
Giants anticipating Kendrick's going to run here. Throw over called by the bench.
George Lombard, the first base coach, in the background there, number 27, with the stopwatch. There he goes. Back to the screen, foul.
And again, good balance in the swing.
Seager looked frustrated that he didn't do something with that.
Well, he looked the same way on the breaking ball, the curveball, the 74-mile-an-hour curveball that he waited well on. It was up, and he didn't do much with. He was upset about.
Kendrick, Seager, Turner, Gonzalez, all those guys are in hot streaks right now. 4 of the hottest hitters in the National League. There he goes. And he was way out in front of that one and just did get a piece of it. Giant shortstop Brandon Crawford shaded a bit toward the middle. Panic straight up at second. Kendrick runs, and it's ball 4. Bumgarner very unhappy with himself. Almost every fastball he threw was way up out of the strike zone to Seager.
Well, he's going to take a walk and cool off. I mean, whatever you say about Bumgarner, I mean, he's a guy that he thinks fastball. I mean, it's the pitch that has always made him special. And what he's upset about there is that he didn't challenge more to the strike zone with it.
The Giants, Dave Righetti appears to be calling the bullpen. Bumgarner's up to 84 pitches in the game. We're only in the 5th inning. And 2 men on, and the big guys are up. Turner has singled home a run, and he hit a single to right field his last time. Brian Fowler out of play. He's another hot Dodger hitter. 23 home runs this year. Seager 22 homers. Grandal 21 homers.
And his power is above the belt. I mean, he's a good mistake hitter. Ground ball situation. Bumgarner's got 3 pitches. He get the ground ball with, but he's got to be knee high with the location.
Pence on the run into the crowd. 0-2. Bumgarner has not been able to get through this part of the batting order tonight as Corey Guerin starts to warm up here in the 5th inning. Seager, Turner, and Gonzalez still 5 for 5, plus a walk and a sacrifice fly for the 3 of them. And 2 men on right now with 1 man out. That was up and right back to the screen. Maeda watching for the dugout.
As a spectator now, that's his night. 103 pitches into it. Don't shut him down. 10 base runners in 5 innings pitched. A lot of walks for Maeda. That's above the norm.
Jesse Chavez up in the LA bullpen. Hit very softly, and everybody's safe. For the hottest hitter on the planet right now, Adrian Gonzalez to come up.
Well, Dave Righetti's going to come out and give him a breather. You don't really need to give your bullpen a whole lot of help on a night like tonight. Corey Guerin's ready to go.
Adrian Gonzalez yesterday had 3 homers and knocked in 8.
You look at the location of every pitch. For the most part, it's up and it's away. Always been a good middle away guy.
He equaled his career record with the 3 homers, and it was the 8 RBIs, his career record. And he became just the 2nd Dodger in the history of the franchise to have at least 3 homers and 8 RBIs in the same game. Gil Hodges was the other one, 1950.
But he's also a good double play guy.
It's a loud, raucous crowd at Dodger Stadium tonight. Gonzalez hit a single to left center his first time and hit a sacrifice fly to left center in the 3rd inning.
Kendrick's getting an enormous lead at third base.
Crawford at short, panic at second, double play death. 1 out, bases loaded. 2-0.
This is where the RBI guys like it, John. This is where they know that that pitcher's going to come to them, and they're going to get something in the strike zone.
And he has been locked in. And still, Kendrick scores, Seager scores, and safe at second is Turner. 5-3 Dodgers. Adrian Gonzalez continues to roll. 3 RBIs tonight. Denard Span almost threw out Justin Turner at second base as Yasmani Grandal comes up. Grandal has grounded to short and struck out. Bumgarner's thrown 23 pitches in this inning. He's given up 3 hits and a walk in the inning. And he's at 91 pitches for the game now. Gonzalez hit that ball to center, and for just a moment it looked like Brandon Crawford, who was timing his leap, just might go get it, but not quite.
Well, when you're hot, it's just about a few inches away from the glove. It tries to catch you. When you're not, it's an Adam Ball double play, inning over.
Turner back to the bag at second.
Now it's all about minimizing damage.
Dodgers, for the first time in the game, got somebody on in front of the trio of Seager, Turner, and Gonzalez. Check swing foul.
I mean, you go back to how this inning started out with Kike Hernandez, who'd been getting softballed all night long. He'd had 2 strikeouts his first 2 at bats, and the one fastball he saw was a mistake. They intended it for the outside corner. It cut in, middle of the plate, base hit. Boom, you're in your stretch, and in here comes the hot hitters, and they've capitalized on it. But that one mislocation fastball is really what set this inning up.
Grandal 0-2. And a foul back out of play. 26 pitches thrown in this inning for Bumgarner, who had thrown quite a few coming into this inning. It's the second time this year in this ballpark that the Dodgers have gotten to Bumgarner. And that is the strikeout. The second out of the inning. 7 strikeouts in the game for Bumgarner. Bumgarner back in mid-April here gave up 7 runs in 5+ innings. Although Kike Hernandez was the guy who was the guy against him in that game. Here's the rookie Rob Seguin, who has a home run tonight. He also has struck out. 2 down with Turner at second, Gonzalez at first. Pence in right. But the Dodgers get 2. They're back ahead 5-3 LA. Nunez, Panic, and Bumgarner due up. This date, 1961, Crosley Field in Cincinnati. The Giants beat the Reds 14-0, but it was the way they did it that was noteworthy. They scored 12 of those 14 in the 9th inning and hit 5 runs in the 5 home runs in the top of the 9th, which tied a major league record for home runs in a single inning. Orlando Cepeda, Felipe Alou, Jimmy Davenport, Willie Mays, and a catcher named John Orsino. They all went deep in the 9th inning. And the Giants had done that a couple of other times, or one other time in 1939 as the New York Giants, and that was against the Reds. That's our McDonald's true story. Jesse Chavez in to pitch for LA, and a foul by Nunez. When it's time for a change, think Speedy, oil change and auto service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts.
The numbers for Chavez as he comes in for the 49th time this year. Spent most of the season with Toronto. Came over to the Dodgers at the trade deadline. 2-2 with a 4.50 ERA. But you look at the strikeouts with Chavez. His strikeout an inning. He's got great stuff. It's low to mid 90s with the fastball. Now more lows than mids. But throws a lot of cutters now, which has become a very good pitch for him. He's also got a curveball, slider, and a changeup.
Off the leg of Chavez, and that's a base hit for the fast-moving Nunez, his first of the game. And let's see if Chavez is okay. That ball was hit hard. Gonzalez and Turner over there to see if he's all right.
It's like getting hit by a pitch. As long as it doesn't hit your head or your hand. That got him right in the backside. There's no way he's coming out of the game for this one. This one right here. If you're going to get hit, that's where you need to get hit. Right on your wallet. Yep, you can laugh about it. It's a stinger. I don't know what the exit velocity, but probably around 100 miles an hour. He hit that ball well.
106 miles an hour off the bat of Eduardo Nunez.
That'll put a bruise on you.
Although maybe Jesse Chavez would beg to differ with that. I think he's pretty sure maybe it was 125 minimum.
It felt like 150. Are you kidding?
So an infield hit for Nunez. Well, the Giants have been playing catch up all night. They've been doing a pretty good job of it up till now. And they're going to have to do it again. They were down 2-0, tied it in the third. Down 3-2, tied it in the fifth. Now they're down 5-3 as they bat here in the sixth. Joe Panic comes up, and Connor Gillespie, not Madison Bumgarner, is out on deck. The Dodgers have a left-hander up in their bullpen now. Panic's had an infield hit and a walk. Looks like Ed Libator, the left-hand, Adam Libator, I beg your pardon.
It's Ed's kid.
Adam Libator. Two-0. So Maeda went 5 innings, allowed 3 runs, 6 hits with 4 walks. Threw 103 pitches while he was in there. Looks like Bumgarner is likely finished as well. That's a strike. 2-1. The Dodgers did use 7 pitchers yesterday, but they brought up 2 new pitchers today, as you see Gillespie in the on deck circle. They brought up Luis Avilan, a left-hander. There goes Nunez. The throw high, and he's in there with a steal.
Jesse Chavez not as quick out of the stretch as Kenta Maeda. But still, I mean, you talk about the arm strength of Rendall. I mean, he's got a bullet for this guy, I should say, he throws bullets. And Nunez just does manage to hold on with that protective glove that he has. That in itself is not that easy. But if that had been a lower throw, they'd have gotten him. The throw was down there in time. It was just high. But that's a big 90 feet.
3-1 to Panic. And 3-2.
So just a few moments ago, Madison Bumgarner heading into the clubhouse. Go change his shirt and come back out on the bench.
3-2 to Joe Panic. Runner at second. And that'll move him over to third. Gonzalez with the put out. And that sets up an opportunity to get the run home without necessarily needing a hit. And now Gillespie goes back into the dugout. And it's going to be Ere Adrianza instead. Adrianza's been swinging the bat pretty well lately.
Well, he's earned the right to take this at bat. That's a big run out there at third base. I mean, if you could get a run down 2 from the bottom of the lineup here, that becomes a big inning. For Jesse Chavez, pure strikeout situation. You just saw the strikeout numbers that he's got this year, averaging 1 an inning, and that's a lot. If you're Adrianza, get ready to go first pitch, because he's going to try and get on top of you with strike 1. They need a medium fly ball. Got good speed, great speed at third base for Nunez, so it doesn't have to be that deep of a fly ball, especially to the corners.
Looping liner in there, base hit. Coming in to score, Nunez. It's 5-4 LA. The Giants get one of those runs right back. And Adrianza does it again. Didn't hit that one really hard, but he certainly hit it to a good spot. His 5th pinch hit in 12 pinch hit at bats. And here comes Dave Roberts, top of the order coming up. He's got Libator, the lefty, up in the bullpen, and he is going to make that move right here. Runner at first, a run in, 1 out. The Giants down by a run. And we'll be right back.
any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
The Giants trailing the Dodgers 5-4 here in the 6th inning. Runner at first and 1 out, and a new pitcher is in, Ed Liberatore. That's how he pronounces it.
So Liberatore in now, 47th time that he's come in. He's been up and down a couple times. And good stuff. He's low to mid-90s with the fastball. From that high 3/4 release, you're going to see a pretty good tilt on the slider. He's also got a changeup. More changeups to righties, more sliders to lefties. Pretty standard, but 40 strikeouts at 35 of the third. And the league just hitting a $174 against him, so it gives you an idea what type of stuff he's got.
So Denard Span, who has singled to right, walked and scored a run and grounded out to first. And he's got a little bit of an opening on that right side of the infield with Gonzalez on the bag holding Adrianza. 273 average now for Span. He's been hot lately. And right in there for a called strike. Span has only seen a little bit of Liberatore, but has not figured him out. He's 0 for 3 against him. The middle infielders, Seager at short, Culberson at second, pulled in a bit, double play depth. And Turner very shallow at third in case of the bunt.
Straightaway outfield. And Span against lefties uses the left side of the field a lot. And he's been hot. Look out. Really is an interesting story, and we've talked about it the last week and a half about Span. He didn't take batting practice on the field. Now he'll hit in the cages with soft toss and tee work, and coaches will throw to him there, but he doesn't like to be on the field because he says, I get on the field and I try to hit home runs. I do that, I lose my front side. And with him, his front shoulder is key. I say that about a lot of hitters, but with him, it's especially important because that's the one mechanism that allows him to hit lefties and take them to left field. You watch the way that he gets the back in the batter's box, and with his front foot, he'll point that toe back towards the catcher. And it's just a reminder. And watch the right foot. Now that toe is pointing right back to the catcher. Now as he drops down, it'll square up. But it's the last little mechanism he has to keep that front side in.
Adrianza back to first. Adrianza is the possible tying run. Bill Hayes whispers something to him. Turner has backed up a little bit at third base now. He had been shallow in deference to the ability of Span to lay down a bunt earlier. The outfield is way over toward the left field line. If he had one right down the right field line, he could run for a while. As far off the line as Seguin is playing out there.
You know, Adrianza has pretty good speed, but he's not real quick at the start. Not a great base stealer, but once he gets his legs going, I mean, he goes from first to third well. And he could definitely score on a gapper, even with one out.
That's a double play ball. Seager and Culberson pulled out of the dirt by Gonzalez. The Giants get one back. 5-4 LA.
Bay Area is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota's Labor Day clearance event is here. For Labor Day only, get $2,500 total cash back on the redesigned 2016 Prius. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
Game one here at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers leading 5-4 as we go to the last of the sixth inning. Corey Guerin comes in to pitch in relief of Bumgarner for the Giants when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts.
The numbers for Guerin, 44th game he's come into. 3-1 with a 4.46 ERA. Guerin, low 90s sink from a high sidearm delivery. He's got a slider and a changeup. Key with Guerin right now is get the ball down. His strength is down around the knees. That's where he gets his movement. That's where that ball gets heavy.
Chase Utley, the veteran. And that's a strike call on the outside. Utley pinch hitting for Culberson. Utley hitting .260 this year, 11 home runs, 41 runs batted in. And strike two, a foul ball out of play. Tomorrow night, Johnny Cueto for the Giants against Rich Hill, who is at long last going to make his first start for the Dodgers. They acquired him when he was unable to pitch because of a blister problem with Oakland, and a couple of times they were hoping he was ready to go, and finally he will be ready to go. That's a base hit on a 2-strike count. Utley bloops a single in front of Hunter Pence.
The batting, hitter number 60, Andrew Toles.
Andrew Toles is the pinch hitter for Liberatore, the pitcher. Joe Blanton is warming up in the LA bullpen. There he is, number 55, right-hander. There's Will Smith getting ready in the Giants bullpen. Corey Guerin just back from the disabled list. He's had a hard time of it in his couple of appearances. A false start there by Utley from first base as the pitch misses. It's 2-0. Looked like he was off and running, and then he stopped very abruptly. Into the gap. Utley heading home. The throw by Crawford, much too late. And the Dodgers get that run back right away. At the bottom of the batting order with a couple of pinch hitters. So Toles, who's in his 47th at bat, gets his 16th hit. He's hitting about almost 340 since they brought him up. Guerin's first game back when the disabled list was last Thursday against the Mets. And he came on in the 6th inning of that game and gave up 2 straight hits and a line drive to the center field, and they took him out. Here's Kike Hernandez. He's given up a single and a double in this game. Runner at second, nobody out. 6-4 LA. And it's bunted foul. That one came way inside. And almost like used the bat more as a shield than actually trying to lay a bunt down, just trying to keep him getting a hit.
Well, I mean, the form looks pretty good. But that thing was burning in on him with a little heat-seeking action.
That's right through the hole. Tolles. Pagan's throw cut off. 3 straight hits and 2 runs home. 7-4 Dodgers.
God, it's been a rough go of it for Garrett since he's come back off the DL. When you're going in the wrong direction, even ground balls, it could be double play balls, they find holes. Just past Nunez, just past Crawford, and winds up being an RBI single.
So Howie Kendrick, who has grounded out twice and grounded into a force play once, so he's 0 for 3. Really grounded out all 3 times, in effect. Well, the bullpen for the Giants is rested, but I think they really were hoping to see Guerin get some outs in this game. And that's out of play. Will Smith, a left-hander, is warming up. The left-handed hitting, Corey Seager, is on deck.
Will Smith is ready to go. He's thinking about Corey Seager. And Seager's thinking about Will Smith.
There goes the runner. So no throw. The ball popped out of the glove of Buster Posey.
And that's a big 90 feet. Little slider fully extended down the dirt. Posey could not get a grip of it in the sweet spot of that glove.
And the strikeout. 1 away.
And that's exactly what he needed to do. Runner at second, nobody out.
So here comes Bochy with the left-handed hitting Seager coming up. And Will Smith ready in the bullpen. But the first 3 hitters in the inning all hit base hits. And 2 runs have scored in the inning. Runner at second, 1 out. And Will Smith will come in to face Seager. 7-4 Dodgers. We'll be back. Pre-game live at 6:30 on CSN Bay Area. The rivalry, the Giants and the Dodgers, continuing game 2 of the series. Cueto for the Giants, and Rich Hill will make his Dodgers debut, plus complete pre and post game coverage, and Giants insider Alex Pavlovich at csnbayarea.com. The home of authentic Giants fan is CSN. So Will Smith in to face one of the Dodgers' tough left-handed hitters, one of their very best, one of the top left-handed hitters in the league right now, Corey Seager,
who's been red hot. And with Will Smith, you're going to see low 90s fastball, curveball, slider. 29 strikeouts in 27 innings.
Runner at second, 1 out. Justin Turner on deck, then another lefty, Adrian Gonzalez.
You know, this is a situation here. You have an open base, but you're a left-hander put in there to get out a left-handed hitter. I mean, this is when you're a specialist. I mean, you don't really think of first base as an opportunity to pitch around a guy. Not with a right-hander on deck.
Two and 0.
Smith had a conversation with himself. Thought he should have had a strike in that last pitch.
Pence in on this one. Hernandez bluffs away from second base as Pence hits Crawford with the throw in.
Now you have a right-hander coming up and you have an open base. Whether or not Bruce Bochy wants to just four-finger Turner over to first base and an intentional walk, I mean, that remains to be seen. We also know that Adrian Gonzalez is in heat right now. One of the hottest hitters in all of baseball. But if you're allowed to pitch to a hitter like this and you're not intentionally walking him, then you pitch to him like every pitch is an 0-2 count. Throw it out of the strike zone and hope he chases.
Turner singled in the Dodgers' first run in the first inning. Singled over the head of Brandon Belt to right field in the third, setting up a run, and he got an infield hit. Hit it very softly toward third base in the fifth. 0-1. 77-mile-an-hour breaking ball there from Will Smith. Adrian Gonzalez, who had 3 homers and 8 RBIs yesterday, and he's had 2 hits and a sacrifice fly and 3 batted in tonight. And he's had 27 hits in his last 16 games. One and 1.
Nibble, nibble. And plus, you got strike 1, so he's got 2 free passes here. There's the first one. Do not want to make mistakes up to Turner. Even off the plate away. If it's above the belt, he can get you.
Popped foul. And he got him to go after a pretty tough pitch that time. Probably would have been called a ball. 1-2.
Well, Turner, I mean, he's hot too. And he's got a runner out there in scoring position. But now with a 1-2 count, you have 3 pitches to throw in the dirt if you want to. And if you walk them, who cares?
Kike Hernandez at second base. 2 down in the inning. 2 runs in. The Dodgers lead 7-4. That's their biggest lead so far tonight. Giants will have Pagan, Belt, and Posey as their 3 due-ups in the 7th inning against Joe Blanton. Did he swing? Yes, he did. Plate umpire Rob Drake makes the call himself. The inning is over. Good work by Will Smith. But it's 7-4 LA heading into the 7th. Dwayne Kuiper will return from the radio booth after this.
Game summary is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. And through 6 full innings of play, Giants 4 runs on 8 hits, no errors. The Dodgers 7 runs on 12 hits, no errors. Bumgarner 5 innings, 9 hits allowed, 5 earned, 7 strikeouts. Pagan extends his streak, 2 for 3 nights so far. And Seager, Turner, and Gonzalez, the heart of this Dodger lineup, 7 for 9 with 4 RBIs and 3 runs. And that's your Toyota game summary. New pitcher now for the Dodgers. It's going to be Joe Blanton. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tube and brake experts. And with Blanton, you're going to see a guy who has great command. Look at the strikeout total, 61 and 63 innings. He's got a low 90s fastball. He'll sink and cut the fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. It is 7-4 Dodgers. Top of the 7th here again, Dwayne Kuiper.
All right, Mike, and it's time now for the Giants to answer back, just like the Dodgers have done this entire game. Pagan's had a couple of hits. He's got an RBI. He scored a run. His only out was a line drive to left field. Belt and then Posey. And a strike, 1-2. Tolles, after the pinch hit double, stays in center field, and Utley goes to second. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On the ground, foul behind Billy Hayes. 8 hits for the Giants, 12 for the Dodgers.
The big story in this game tonight has been the red hot heart of this Dodger lineup.
And a little pop up out of play as Pagan stays alive. Yeah, Johnny Cueto paying attention.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Dodgers yesterday, 21 hits and 18 runs against Cincinnati. And the heart of the lineup just on fire. An 8 RBI day for Adrian Gonzalez with 3 home runs. It's Johnny Cueto.
And a shot to right. And there is Sigadin, and he makes the catch. So another ball hit hard by Pagan.
He can't be swinging any better than he is right now.
Belt 1 for 3. And a strike at the knees.
Pagan over there talking to Bam Mullins. And that's something that a lot of hitting instructors will do. Most will do, actually. When a guy's hot, let's come back in the dugout. They want to talk to him. What are you seeing? How are you feeling? And they'll go back in and they'll write all that stuff down for the hitter. So that when he's not swinging it well, they'll remind him about what he told them when he was hot, coming off of a night like tonight where every ball that Pagan has hit has been on the nose. 4 at bats, 4 sweet spots.
Belt out swinging.
Catcher number 28, Buster Posey.
So here's Buster Posey. Buster tonight is 1 for 3. He's bounced out twice to third. Here he takes a strike.
Bland is really one of the good stories about this Dodger bullpen. He really redefined himself. For many years a starter, leaking oil a little bit, and all of a sudden he moves into the bullpen, and now he's a setup, doing a great job.
Was he trying to get on for Crawford? We are in the 7th. 1-2.
Blanton as a starter was always a control specialist. He was a guy that could just shave corners all night long with 4 pitches. Very compact motion, short armor.
Got him. 2 strikeouts for Blanton. Bottom of the 7th coming up. It's a 7-4 lead for Los Angeles. Smith stays in, and Smith is going to face Adrian Gonzalez. Did a nice job. You got Seager and Turner to end the 6th inning. Gonzalez. Gonzalez is 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs and a sacrifice fly. Randall is on deck. Gonzalez with the worst swing of the week for him. It's 0-1.
It's got to be. I mean, that looks like the first swing of the day in his first round of batting practice. When the BP pitcher threw him a breaking ball he wasn't looking for.
And a strike, gets another than 2. Well, this could be a defining series for Will Smith with all the left-handed hitters the Dodgers have. Out of play down the left field line.
Well, you're right. Well, he hasn't been altogether that happy with how he's been pitching.
Well, he's going to get to pitch in these 3 games.
You know, and it's a guy getting to a new team, getting to the comfort level where you can relax. Dodgers as a team against left-handed pitching this year, they haven't done well. Hitting .224, that ranks them 30th last in the major leagues, 28th in on-base percentage, and 29th in slugging percentage. So you're right. Will Smith figures to get some serious action these next couple days.
Got him. Well, at least in tonight's game, Gonzalez proves that he's human, and here's Grandal. The next time these two teams will face each other, Giants come back here once, Dodgers go to San Francisco for the last 3. The rosters will be expanded. At that point, the Dodgers could have an extra 10 right-handed hitters on the bench.
You're right.
Giants could have an extra 10 left-handed pitchers in the bullpen.
It's going to happen.
I mean, they signed Joe Nathan. See how Gary Lavelle is throwing somewhere.
Yeah. Call Moon Minton.
Grandal takes down low.
And every year we hear the same article written about halfway into September about how teams should not be allowed to have 38 guys dressed out for every game.
Well, I agree. They shouldn't.
Well, it's been suggested that
Well, the rules are.
do what hockey does. You know, you have 30 guys or 40 guys there, but you have 25 that can play that night. You can change the next day. Do that the whole month of September.
There's a strike.
But if you're a bullpenner, I mean, these last few days of August, I mean, your tongues are hanging out. It's been a long summer, and you welcome the new arms coming up in September that can give you some help.
Get on the ground to third for Nunez.
Well, follow Giants Baseball live on the MLB.com at bat app. You can download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball, and you can put it on your phone and your tablet. We recommend it. And here comes Bruce Bochy.
And he's doing this for one reason, and that's to make sure Smith has got enough in the tank to pitch tomorrow and then on Thursday. When it's time for a change, think Speedy, oil change, and auto service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts. We'll be back. Contos replaces Will Smith, and he needs to get one out, and the Giants are going to hit again.
47 times George Contos has come into a game. 3-2 with a 2.42 ERA.
How about right fielder, number 25, Rob Seguin.
So he gets a chance to introduce himself to Seguin. Rob Seguin already has a home run in this ball game.
After the home run, he struck out looking, and he's hit a fly ball to right field. And the pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball up the middle, and right there is Panic. Rolls up his arm, doesn't matter, throws him out. Inning over. Cantos. Awesome. Crawford's going to lead things off.
The eighth inning timeout for our Ford right choice. We go back to April 8th. And Joe Blanton on the mound. And Brandon Crawford comes up. And with one swing of the bat, he walks it off. Giants would win that ball game. In a light rain. And that's a Ford right choice. And Brandon Crawford going to face Joe Blanton again here tonight.
And the pitch to Crawford, and Crawford takes a strike. Crawford, Pence, and Nunez. What's going on here? Kendrick needs his infielder's glove.
Well, there's a lot of moving around. Howie Kendrick went to second base this half inning. Josh Reddick went out to right field. Rob Seguin went over to left field.
So what's Utley thinking on, like, dog meat or what?
Well, no. Maybe he would say that's it for me. Doubtful though.
One ball and one strike.
I mean, those are things we find out after the game.
They clearly wanted to keep Kendrick in the game.
There you see Reddick in right field. There's Kendrick. Second base. All right, now we're ready.
2-2.
Change up. We talk about two different speeds of the changeup. You can do it with changing the grips on the changeup, like a fastball. 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball. 4-seam fastball is going to be a little bit more velocity than a 2-seam fastball, and you can use the same grips with a changeup grip, and you get the same effect. One grip, you throw a little bit harder.
And on the ground to Kendrick. One out.
And that's one thing that Joe Blanton does really well.
So here's Pence.
Remember when Jason Schmidt, who had a great fastball changeup combination, one of the best that we've ever seen. I mean, he was the ace of this Giant staff for some good years, and he was throwing his changeup with a two-seam grip, and they were fouling it off. He couldn't get him to swing and miss. So Dave Righetti said, well, throw the changeup with the four-seam grip. And all of a sudden, they started swinging and they started missing.
And they did that for a long time.
And they did it for a long time.
Pence pops it up into right field. And Reddick will put it away. So Blanton doing what he does. He throws strikes. He's 6, or make that 5 up, 5 down. And here's Nunez.
Kenley Jansen, the right-hander, heating up.
Is this to give Dave Roberts time to go get him?
I mean, I don't think they're going to make it a 4-out save for him. The way Blanton's throwing, they've got.
Well, this may be more just to save Blanton.
Yep, you're right. Same thing they did with Will Smith. Jansen hasn't worked a whole lot lately.
So pitching change. Jansen coming in. Peterson coming in. It's 7-4 Dodgers.
I don't think he really needs to be unhappy. Pitch well. Gives the ball to Kenley Jansen, who really hasn't had a lot of work of late. 54 games, 3-2 with a 1.76 ERA. 73 strikeouts against 9 walks. What's he going to throw? He can throw a lot of cutters. Low to mid 90s with the velocity. He has a slider, but he doesn't throw it a whole lot. It's cutter, and more cutters.
First pitch. Tolles. Side retired. Bottom of the 8th coming up.
And we think Angel Pagan is that gentleman tonight. Why? Well, he extended his hitting streak to 19 games with a 2-hit night tonight. Could have been a 4-hit night, as every at-bat that he hit right on the sweet spot. So Angel Pagan, he's our player of the game. Brought to you by Honda.
So Cantos, who retired Seguin on one pitch, he is now facing Josh Reddick. And the 1-0 pitch to Reddick. Reddick had one of those injuries where you don't know if you should tell people that's how you hurt yourself or not. He had a problem with shutting the door after getting room service, jammed his finger. Yeah, I can see that. Pops it up. Nunez over by the seats, and he'll run out of room.
Well, he is not swinging the bat yet for the Dodgers. In fact, he's coming off a road trip where he had a 2 for 22 going, and the Dodgers were scoring runs. He was the guy who just really couldn't find a way to join the party. So the Dodgers are thinking that he just hasn't hit the comfort zone yet.
Well, they really haven't needed him.
They have not. As hot as the middle of their lineup has been.
Look at Buster Posey.
He did.
Get him in the throat.
I think it caught mainly mask, maybe down around the jaw. Dave Gresher going to come out. The trainer comes out and he looks at you. He doesn't blink. I mean, he just looks right into your eyes. And the whole time he's talking to you, he never takes his eyes off of your eyes. I mean, some of their lifetime, I think trainers were bird dogs. But their concern is to see if that player they're talking to is fit to go on. And when you take a pop to the jaw like Posey did, I mean, you never know.
On deck is Tolles. Scud right after the foul ball in the chin.
One more look at right where this foul ball catches Posey, right in the chin. That's a leadoff walk, and Cantos not happy. And that's going to be it for Cantos.
So Lopez is going to come in, and Cantos is going to depart. It's 7-4, and we'll be back. Dodgers.
Well, frustrating night for Cantos, and he walks off. Bruce Bochy goes, whoa, 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 not so fast. Come back here.
Number 60.
One thing you don't ever want to do is exit too early and leave the manager out there by himself, even when you get frustrated, and it's understandable. I mean, he had count leverage on Reddick, and he winds up walking him with 3 really easy takes.
So Lopez is going to pitch to Tolles.
50th time he's come into a game.
And a strike. Little work for Lopez wouldn't hurt anyway. Tolles pinch hit off of Guerin in the 6th and knocked a double up the alley in right center field for an RBI. And then he eventually scored. Driven to right. Pence back. Off the top of the wall. Gone.
So it doesn't happen very often, but Javier Lopez giving up a home run to a left-handed hitter. And right now, you got to say, who are the new guys? Andrew Tolles, Rob Seguin, guys the Giants have never seen before, both coming up tonight with home runs and big swings of the bat.
So nobody out. And here's Peterson. Peterson takes a strike.
That man not happy.
(9-4). Low to Peterson. Nobody out.
Now, we've been watching the Dodgers for a long time. I didn't even know they even had a scheme where there were stripes on their socks with their uniform.
Well, they probably didn't until this year. I mean, unless you're looking at, as Lopez throws out Peterson, you probably see old footage of Jackie Robinson. He may have those kind of socks on.
I always thought they were just straight blue.
Well, let's put it this way. I wasn't born and raised here, so I'm kind of making up stuff.
Well,
you were.
But he's not the only guy. I see another pair down there in the dugout.
Well, in Cincinnati, they all wore them.
Hey, it's all about the socks.
Here's Kendrick.
I mean, best I could come up with is those are like slump buster socks. Go completely off the grid. Strap them on.
Down low to Kendrick. Kendrick is 0 for 4. Urias has got him on. He pitched great in those socks. There's a strike.
That home run hit off Javier Lopez. In his career, he's now given up 12 home runs to left-handers.
Wow.
He gave up another one earlier this year, and it was to Corey Seager.
2-2.
Here, it's Andrew Tolles. And if the Giants didn't know a whole lot about him coming into tonight's ball game, they know a lot about him now.
And he got him.
Fastball down and in. We're being told in the truck from Jeff Kuiper and Dan Peterson that the Dodgers pulled out the striped socks yesterday. And the last time they had a striped socks were in the 30s, back when they were in Brooklyn. So it's not unprecedented, although you and I have never seen it. Hey, they wore them yesterday. They scored 18 runs and had 21 hits.
So when I said they wore them the other day, they thought I was lying?
Well, I mean, you said you were talking out of your hat, so I mean, you know, not that I didn't believe you.
No,
I was semi-convinced.
Guys in the truck were like, yeah, right. Seager, 2 hits, a walk, and a fly ball to right. And another hit.
And he can hit. That's a 3-hit night for Seager. And another opposite field swing of the bat.
Number 10,
Baseball being the most superstitious sport. Dodgers break out those socks yesterday. They scored 18 runs on 21 hits. They get 9 runs in a game started by Madison Bumgarner tonight. They may wear them the rest of the way.
Yeah, but there's only a couple of guys wearing them. They're not all wearing them. Well, we don't know. They have their pants pulled down.
See Peterson on the right side of your screen, and he had him on yesterday in Cincinnati.
Two and 0 to Turner.
So we need to get on the phone to Barry Zito, get some stripes. He was the first guy I ever saw that in a Giants uniform that wore those, and he made it look good.
And that's hooked foul. Two balls, 1 strike. Three and 1. The walk. So here's Gonzalez.
Gonzalez tonight, 2 for 3.
He's 4 for 18 in his career against Javi Lopez. And a strike.
And usually he hits a ground ball to second baseman. I mean, that's what he usually does against Javier Lopez.
No balls and a strike. Foul at the plate, 0-2.
Giants, as they go forward in this series, they're going to have to figure out a way to slow down the heart of this Dodger lineup. They have been extremely hot. And they were again tonight.
Runs that one inside, no swing. So Matt Moore is going to pitch in the series. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. On a night where the Dodgers have come up with 14 hits. And Gonzalez stays alive.
14 hits, and this is after they had 21 yesterday. So the concern for the Giants is, how do you slow them down? Every mistake that they had tonight from Bumgarner, they jumped on. And that's what hot teams do.
Well, I think you pointed out the guys that were hot coming into this game, and they stayed hot. Hold on the ground, foul. Jansen has had to sit on that bench a long time. I don't know if anybody's up.
Bullpens are shut down.
Peavy throwing in the Giants. Way outside, so it's 3-2.
Always concerned about the number of pitches you have for a guy who's a one inning guy, or for a guy like Lopez who can be a situational one hitter guy.
Got him, and that'll end the inning. 9th inning coming up. Giants have lots of work to do. We'll be back. Post game live right here on CSN Bay Area. You get reaction to this game. Alex Pavlovich is here, and Jack Del Rio on both NFL prospects. There we go. So Jansen is back out, and he'll face Panic, then Gillespie, then Span. Jansen threw one pitch, and you got Nunez to hit a ball to left for an out. And here the first pitch is high.
Well, and that's the goal right now. Get as many pitches as you can out of Jansen, and hey, who knows?
Yeah, play till 11:15.
Why not? Get 40 pitches out of Jansen. Make him get in their bullpen. May have an effect on tomorrow's game. That's your goal.
And a strike. Here's the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. I think Rob Drake has done a good job tonight.
Yeah, he has. I like his zone. I always have.
Not many have complained.
Well, it's been the same zone you had in the first. Very consistent. That's all you can ask out of any umpire.
2-2. Outfield straight away. And the 2-2 to Panic. Popped him up. It'll be Seager backpedaling. And with 1 out, here's Connor Gillespie. Rich Hill tomorrow night, and remember, he's dealing with a blister. The original starter, Brett Anderson, for Thursday, he was just put on the DL today.
Yeah, Dodgers have had 27 guys put on the disabled list this year. Ties a record.
Well, right now they're just out slugging people. That's what they're doing.
Well, and that'll be the goal as the Giants move into the next 2 games of the series. How do you slow these guys down? It really, really makes it so important. You cannot get behind. You have to stay on top. You have to be ahead of the hitters, and you can't walk anybody. Set up rallies for free.
Gillespie out of play. Span on deck.
So against a hot team, the first pitch strike is essential. And you have a guy like Johnny Cueto who can do it with a lot of different pitches, a lot of different windups. That's one of his strengths. It's exactly the kind of guy you want to face. You want to have face a hot lineup, which is what the Dodgers are.
And a 1 hopper. Well, to say that this was a clean, crisp game would be a lie. A lot of pitches. A lot of counts where hitters had good counts to hit in. Wild pitches. No errors. Got him.
And that's a curveball. Yep, he's got a curveball. He's also got a changeup. He throws them like once every 6 weeks. And here he absolutely stuns Gillespie.
So here's Span. And the pitch to Span, and it's a call strike. Denard Span has been on base a couple of times, scored a run. And Span takes another strike, so it's a quick 0-2.
Painting that outside cut. And that's one of the things about Jansen that it really is Mariano Rivera-like, is that he can go on both sides of the plate with the cut. Nobody's ever going to be as good as Rivera. But this guy is pretty special in his own right.
Span drives one down the right field line and gone. So Jansen's going to have at least a run tacked on his ERA. Home run number 8.
That was a bullet.
The Dodgers fans got that little area down and in. And if you hit that spot.
Oh, that was a cut that didn't cut. Stays inside it. I mean, really, he breaks down both elbows on the swing.
It really wasn't down. It was, you know, right at a little bit above the knees. As Pagan takes a pitch inside.
I mean, he's been locked in, and he's absolutely known it for a while. Well, here, that's testimony to being quick inside when you can take Kenley Jansen deep, especially as a left-hander.
Pagan, a little pop-up. This should end the game. And it does. So the Giants drop game 1 in this 3-game series, and they do it by watching the Dodgers pound out 14 hits. They scored 9 times, and game 1 goes to the Dodgers. So now the Giants have to really thinking about winning tomorrow and then taking the series on Thursday, and they can do that.
Well, you're right. They get the right guy on the hill to do it, and that's Johnny Cueto. But he's going to have to figure out a way to slow down this Dodger offense, because right now they are out of their minds hot.
All right, final score: Dodgers 9, Giants 5. Stay tuned. East Sheridan's Giants postgame live starts right now.